Hi everybody, I'm Chris. Welcome to episode 5 of Ctrl Speak. It's a special episode today because I'm joined with members of the team. I've got Beth, I've got Matthew. Say hello.
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 And yeah, how was your weekend?
It was fine. I've been busy in the house.
Yeah.
Taking down ceilings.
Not on your head, I hope.
No.
On
my foot.
On your foot.
Well, I went to the safari park and got stuck for an hour behind a learner driver who couldn't seem to get her hill starts done and just kept rolling back down the hill.
Okay, of course. So yeah, things are starting
Things
to
are
open
open now.
Yeah.
You can start enjoying life.
Yeah.
It's great.
So how was the safari park?
It was great, other than the standstill for an hour. Yeah.
Yeah. So moral of the story is be more comfortable behind the wheel of the car before doing the safari
It's
park.
very hilly.
Yeah, it is a bit. It is a bit. So, do you want to tell the listeners and the watchers who you are and what you do at Bespoke Computing? I see we're going to have some trouble here, aren't we?
No. Of course not.
So, in that case, after you, you can go first.
Ladies first.
Yeah, go on, Matthew.
Men just before.
Beth?
I'm Beth, and I'm the new marketing assistant at Bespoke Computing, so I'm basically responsible for all of this and recording Chris's face most of the time, which is a joy.
You poor thing. And editing it out.
And editing it again and again and again
And again.
and again. But it's fun, it's great.
Yeah, excellent. Matthew,
I'm Matthew, obviously.
obviously.
And I'm one of the support engineers at Bespoke Computing.
So I've dragged you guys along because, well, Matthew, you've been here since forever, so you're our longest standing employee. So what are
For
we?
my sins, 15.
Yeah, coming up to 15 years. Beth, you're our FNG, our new girl.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably not far off 15 weeks. So
Something like that.
15 years, 15 weeks. Wow, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So first thing I want to talk about, Matthew, you've been here for 15 years, which means I can't be a complete tyrant because you keep coming back for more.
And that's why I like that sort of thing.
Unless you like that sort of thing. So, tell me, what is it that matters to you in a workplace? What is it that you're looking for? What is that secret sauce that we're obviously doing here?
It's the engagement. You always engage me with things. I'm not just left in a corner of sitting there just gathering dust. I think that's one of the key things.
Okay.
You're just not you're not an employee. You get involved with things.
Yeah.
No day is the same.
So, do you want to? Obviously, I know what I engage you in because I'm engaging you. But for the listeners, for the viewers, what sort of things are we doing day to day that you might not necessarily see outside as a client?
Well, where we have conversations about what direction we might be taking in terms of technology offered to clients and our own internal technology, that sort of thing.
Yeah, cool. So Beth, what about yourself? Obviously, you're new to the business. When you saw the advert and you applied for the job, what is it that you were looking for in a place of work?
I think an employer is really important. Like what Matthew said, the idea of allowing growth for your staff and helping them achieve goals and growing with the business. I think that's really important, and the support element. But also, I think you could have the best boss, the worst boss in the world, but the team that you work with matters the most. Everybody's got to want to succeed. Everybody's got to want to pull their weight and support each other, help each other, and I think that's important to me, which is what the whole business value of family really resonated with me. I think that's really important.
So for the rest of the team that aren't in the room at the moment, have you got any messages you want to leave for them?
No, not yet. Mainly because I only see them for like once a week in the office at the moment. But
yeah, work harder.
Yeah.
So would you say, Matthew, coming back to you, would you say that there's been a lot of change in the last 15 years for you?
Yeah.
What would you say the biggest changes have been?
I suppose the biggest change is our size and the type of client that we've got, whereas 10, 15 years ago we had smaller clients, maybe up to 5 sort of employees, where now it's not uncommon to have 30, 40 plus, and we're getting more of those, and obviously we have a bigger team now. Whereas for a very long time it was just us.
Yeah, that's it has been us for a long time, and just reflecting on the growth of the team. If we go back 3-4 years, we were 4 people, and now we're 9. We're advertising for another engineer, so that's 10. Hopefully by the time this goes out, we might even have that person, and there's at least 1 or 2 more roles over the course of the summer to fill. So yeah, it's an interesting change in dynamic watch and priorities as well, as you see those things evolve. And yeah, then as you say, the natural evolution of the type of people we're dealing with, and I think any new business that's green as grass like me 17 years ago, if I had a pulse, you'd want to sell to it, whereas now we can actually be a little bit more selective. We can think through, what are we selling, who are we selling to, who do we want to deal with, and that just changes the game a bit as well. So yeah.
So as you as an employer, what's important to you staff wise? What do you look for?
Well, I think the biggest thing I look for with especially when recruiting is attitude and aptitude. It's how people want to engage, how people want to apply themselves. If somebody wants to just come along and sit at their desk for 8 hours a day and just look up at the lights and go, oh yeah, that's pretty, then yeah, I'm not interested in that. For me, it goes back to what Matthew said as well about engagement. It's as much as it's me to engage with you guys, I want you guys to engage with me and not in a bad way, but challenge me and question the way of thinking. It's very easy to take that status quo and always do the same thing. Whereas if you guys can come to me and say, actually, Chris, we've been doing it this way because can we do it that way? Can we try something different? And yeah, I think we've got a good bunch of people at the moment. The learning is really good. The banter is ace.
If not a little bit cheesy, but
well, Beth, what can I say? You're as much as in charge as the banter as everybody else in the room. So if the banter's cheesy, I'm afraid that's on you as well.
Didn't say I didn't like cheesy. Now, I think one thing that I struggled with the most when I was looking for a job was I think pretty much my whole working life has been manual jobs. So then when I was trying to move on from that, employers would look at my CV, kind of just see the title of groom or yard manager and kind of just straight away fob me off. So they're basically looking what I had done, not what I can do. And that was really frustrating for me because I want to do more and I can do more, but no one had given me that opportunity and see all the transferable skills underneath. They didn't see those. They just saw, manual job, obviously can't use a brain, that kind of thing. And I quite like to think I can use my brain. I've got a little bit more to give, but yeah, and it goes back to what you said about attitude and trainability, because I'm sure there's been plenty of people that you've worked with that know the stuff, they're qualified here, there and everywhere, but are horrible to work with because they're not trainable and they've not got the right attitude and they don't want to be there.
Yeah, totally right. You can technically be the best person in the world, but if you're a muppet, then no, there's no place for you. That's a lesson that's had to be learned over the years, both with the people that we've employed and lost, and also with the customers that we've won and lost or invited to go away, is that people buy people. And I'm quite a Marmite. Some people like me, some people loathe me.
Like that smirk over there, Matthew.
What are you laughing at, mate? What are you laughing at?
I just thought it's like Marmite. Some people like some.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. come to work. I run this business to help people with their IT. I want to enjoy doing that. I want to do that with the people that I enjoy doing it with. And if we've got somebody that isn't a nice person, and I don't care whether they're a customer, a supplier, or a member of staff, it's going to have a very short shelf life. And it has to be that way for everybody, because life's too short. So yeah, coming back to what you were saying just then, Beth, you obviously, if we looked at your CV and you take that manual element, and this is your first office job, so we've brought you in as an investment, actually we're going to take this person as a nice person, as a good person, and develop her. That obviously means lots of training, lots of learning, lots of development. And I don't know, would you say it's fair to say that your learning curve and your training plan has been pretty full on since you started?
Definitely. I read something on, I think it was LinkedIn, saying about how you're not an expert in anything. Like, no one is an expert. There's always something else to learn.
So I'm curious then, Beth, when you were growing up,
don't ask me this question.
What did you want to be?
Everything, and that was my problem. That's why I'm now 24 and kind of just almost settling into something else. Yeah, no, I'm almost too aspirational. I want to be, rather than jack of all trades, master of none. I kind of want to be almost
master
of everything.
Yeah.
I know that's not necessarily a thing that happened, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I just want to experience what I can experience, find something that I want, that I enjoy, and work at it. And I think that's what I have done since being young. Whatever I've started to enjoy, I've done out of work, I suppose. So it's finding something that you enjoy. Like you said, finding something you enjoy and you want to enjoy every day. But you've got to make that environment for it.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. What about you, Matthew? What did you want to be when you grew up?
Prior to getting a computer, I wanted to join the RAF and be a pilot.
Okay, yeah, same. I wanted to be the fighter pilot. Didn't get to fly.
No, well, my dad got our first computer, and then that was it, really.
So what was your first computer then?
I was an Amiga 500.
Beth, do you know what one of those is?
I don't know what one of those is, no.
So what was your first computer? But I bet it had a Pentium inside as well, didn't it?
I don't know. I think it was. I remember it being a big white box. I think it was an 8 of some sort. It was a big white box, and it took forever to load, and then it made that horrible noise to connect to the internet. And
dial up, yeah.
See, I can relate to some things.
So I used to work with a guy that could squawk out of his mouth like a dial-up modem, and he could actually make the modem and have that conversation. That's geeky. That's geeky bit. To a whole new level. Yeah, that's. So how important is it, do you think, to have this opportunity to learn and grow?
Massive, because like I said, I was trying for quite a while, and no one would see exactly what those transferable skills were. Yeah, like from thinking on your toes to, for example, would you remember 30 clients' names, ages, weights, heights, what they have for breakfast, dinner and lunch?
I don't even remember what I had for breakfast.
Exactly. Whereas I had to do that because that was the job, so that's not helpful in this situation, but it is in mine, in that I've got to remember to do 10 million different things in what order, and every day, and then every Friday, and that all comes into play.
So Matthew, 15 years down the road, learning and development for you, what does that look like?
Well, 15 years from now?
Well, 15 years, the 15 years you've been here. So, I mean, Beth's obviously new on her journey in marketing. You're not new in your journey of IT, well, I hope not, but...
Well, I mean, you know.
So what does your learning, after 15 years in the hot seat, what does your learning and development look like?
Yeah, I suppose where I was with college and what I was learning was around software development, which is very different to what we do here. So right at the beginning, my headspace and the way that I approached things was more from that side of the fence. And I suppose really it's from that point forward to now is where I've changed the approach, and it's more in keeping with how we work in terms of, there's a lot of diagnostic work and headspace around that, and being able to explain things to people in reasonably easy English. You still get the whole give it to me in English bit sometimes, but there's only so much you can take something that's fairly complicated and simplify it enough that everybody can understand it. But that's a fairly key skill that you have to learn, whereas being a software developer, not so much.
No, lock them in a dark room.
Yeah,
Coffee, pizza.
You don't really need to have the human interaction side of things.
Yeah.
But you still do like a lot of training now, even after 15 years.
Yeah, it's a constant learning process, because the thing with IT is it doesn't stay still. It's constantly evolving. There's some things that are not as prevalent now as they were 10 years ago, but the basic principles are still the same.
The principles haven't changed, have they?
No.
It looks different. You've got to click on slightly different things, but yeah, the principles haven't changed. They haven't changed in 25 years.
Well, there's one of the courses that I did. It was a COBOL instructor, and he said as long as you understand the fundamentals of the language, you can do whatever you want in it. And he didn't try to teach us the language; he tried to teach us the fundamentals of it. And it's the same with well, not just with IT, but everything. As long as you understand the fundamentals, you can progress from there.
So, Beth, you're the only one of the three of us that's been to university. In terms of developing yourself, do you think that was worthwhile?
I've never used my degree towards a job. The only time I've ever used my degree is towards a qualification. However, I would say that the whole university experience itself was invaluable. The degree itself I've never actually used to get a job. I'm sure it's helped somewhere down the line, but no one specifically said that's why we've got it. Have you ever looked at people's CVs for a degree, or do you not look specifically at that?
I'm very much of the mindset that some professions really do require a degree. If I'm going to go and see a doctor, the fact that they've done a degree in medicine, that's pretty important to me. In terms of from a technical point of view, so what Matthew does for us, no, that degree isn't important to me. What I would rather see is those life skills, the ability to communicate, the softer stuff that sometimes you just can't teach. That aptitude, the ability to get on with people, and for me, that's everything. And actually, a CV paints a picture, but it's like a paint with numbers, and all it is the outline. You then have to engage with that person, and have that dialogue to see how you get on. And that's why, like what I said when we interviewed you and brought you into the fold, your CV was almost regardless. It was the fact that actually we had that initial interview. You, from a rapport point of view, it clicked, and you had the attitude of I want to do this, and that for me was everything. The fact that you were there, willing, wanting to get on and do it. The fact that you'd been to university, couldn't care less in that particular instance. Yeah. I'm sure you've learned stuff that you'll apply, but in that moment, it didn't matter anything to me.
Do you notice, Matthew, I know, like, throughout the years, can you now spot... No. As in, you must know Chris, like, inside and out. You must know, as in, what he wants from someone, and who he's not going to get on with, who's going to really impress him. Throughout those years of people coming and going, can you almost tell straight away, not the person who makes the decision, but kind of like the bystander almost, can you tell straight away if someone's going to be...
around for a long time?
Yeah, but not in a way of, oh, Chris is going to sack him.
So is Beth going to be here for a long time?
not in the way of, oh, they're going to get sacked. In the way of, are they going to be a good team player? Are they going to...
That's an interesting question.
I'm intrigued.
I suppose I've always seen them. I've never really been involved with the hiring process. A couple of the current team, we sort of had a little bit of a meet the team day, and you get a good sense of what they're like then. but I suppose there are times where you can see whether they've got an aptitude for what they're doing and whether they just want to sit and coast or want to do more or not. But,
Yeah.
It's usually weeded out before they get as far as
That's all right.
meeting me.
Yeah, so I guess that leads on to the next problem that we've got is our talent warehouse project that that you're running at the moment. Is so for the audience, what we're trying to do is shorten our recruitment cycle when we do need the next pair of hands to join the team, and I guess that's going to then how do we filter, how do we screen? So if you imagine we've got a bank of 100 candidates, we need to quickly whittle that down to work out who's got the attitude and who's not. It presents an interesting dilemma, doesn't it?
What I think, and I don't know if you actually read it or what sold it in my CV wise, but what I like the most about...
You had a pulse.
Well, and that.
Is that a requirement, is it?
Yeah, pulse is helpful.
What I liked about the form was the little something about you, because like I say, I sent my CV off to not loads of jobs because I was very particular of what I wanted to work for, but I couldn't explain myself and humanise myself other than a piece of paper that says on this date I was doing this, on this date I was doing this. So being able to kind of say, look, this is my situation, this is who I am as a person, and this is who I am as an employee. I'm all right, you know. Please consider me.
I'm more than this list of accomplishments.
Yeah, yeah.
So do you think we'll soon start to see video coming into the application process? So hi, I'm Chris. Here's my CV. Here's a 30-second clip about how awesome I am.
I'm not going to lie, I would have been terrified. I don't know about you, Matthew.
Yeah, I wouldn't
That.
do that. It was, I think it was last year or the year before, they were taking, because there's this mission to Mars in however many years' time, and it was open to anybody, but you had to do like a video interview and say why you were the right fit for it. So I think that it probably will catch on more, but yeah, I don't really do video.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, isn't it? If you've got somebody that's really, really an introvert and hates having their phone, I mean, you wouldn't believe it. I actually don't like being filmed. I don't like having my phone
really?
taken. Believe it or not, it's a work choice. I have to do it for work, but you have to wonder how much potential talent are they losing out on something as important as a mission to Mars because you've got the most smartest intellectual person in their field and they're saying, nah, I am not being filmed.
I know she's not going to mind mistakes. My cousin is very, very talented in arts and theatre and all of that. At the behind the scenes, like the set designs and everything. Went to uni, absolutely loved it, and she's got a real talent for it. But she's such an introvert that she's currently working in just a shop warehouse because she won't put herself out there because she can't physically bring herself to.
Wow.
So the thought
What a
of
waste.
of her, if you had to tell her, oh, by the way, interviews are now, you have to send in a video rather than a CV. Or that would, she'd never have a job again, I don't think.
Yeah, nightmare.
Yeah, so I think that'd be a tricky one. Definitely.
So I think the message here is we're always looking out for more people. We are looking at how we can get people to tell themselves about us. We have stuff on our website. Beth, what's the link to that?
The link to that is bespokecomputing.com/careers. Trying to make it so, like you just said, accessible for anyone and everyone. So it's not intimidating. It's not. We just simply want who you are, what kind of person you are. Are you going to be valuable to our team, and are you going to be a team player?
So I'm going to put you on the spot with the next question then.
goodness.
Are you glad you took the job?
Yes, I am.
And are you glad you're still here, Matthew?
Yes.
Right, that's
I
my
can't
ego.
say no.
No, that's my ego stroked for another couple of weeks.
Not if you get him to do
That's
another
fine.
podcast.
Or a video interview.
Yeah, don't do that.
Well, I'm sure it hasn't been that bad, so we'll get you back and do it again. So yeah, this episode has obviously been a bit personal in terms of talking about our histories, our backgrounds, and a bit business orientated to finish it off. So not that you've at the time that we were filming this, you've seen the other podcasts, but one of the questions that all of the guests have had to answer is, what piece of technology could you not imagine life without, Matthew?
Ooh, there's so much choice.
Pick one.
Pick one.
Whilst we're waiting for Matthew, Beth, what would you pick?
Well, I obviously have heard everybody else's from editing them, so I'm going to have to try and think of something a little bit different. So I think, to be different, my smart TV is probably up there. I think because I literally listen to my music on it. I don't know, you go on any apps, Netflix, Amazon, everything. I do everything on that
Other
TV.
streaming services.
Other streaming services are available. But no, I think that, yeah, I'm very music or film. Like, that's my thing. So that's for me. Yours going to be so much more technical and interesting
no,
now.
See, that's the thing. Well, I have a lot of smart tech at home, but I wouldn't say I couldn't live without it. Like, I have lights that come on when you walk into the room and things like that. But as cool as that is, I could live without it. You know, there is a light switch.
But you wouldn't want to.
Well, no, I wouldn't want to. I like the fact I could just walk in. But I think if we were to sort of like have an EMP and everything electronic stopped working, I'd probably miss my car the most. And the car is technology, so
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Especially yours with your what have you got in there now? Like a little Amazon.
I have a little. They call it the Echo Auto, so you can use Alexa in the car.
I think that's pretty.
You haven't mentioned this in the office before.
No, I haven't. It's a relatively new acquisition.
Okay, so tell me about this.
So it Bluetooths to your phone, and your phone Bluetooths to your car, and then you just have like a little dongle that sits in there, and it just responds as if you've got like an Echo Show dot whatever at home.
So can you say? It's not Alexa.
It doesn't drive your car.
It is Alexa.
You can say Alexa, yeah.
Yeah. So obviously I don't have anything like that in my house. So you could be driving down the road and you can say, Alexa, the noddy in front of me is in the way, beep the horn.
No, it doesn't interact with the car itself.
It's not Tesla.
I could say Alexa play and then it puts some music on it. It'll play music in the car. Or I could say Alexa turn on and then the name of some lights at home and it'll turn the lights on at home, even though I'm not at home.
So that could be quite freaky with her indoors then.
Yeah, I mean,
Alexa, turn off the lights. Turn on the lights.
I did
turn
test
off the
it
lights.
with the outside light, so I did ask her to turn it on, and as I was driving up the road, I could see it was on. I got her to turn it off, and it went off. So, yeah, I use it mostly for just playing music. But,
yeah, Alexa, play disco music and turn the lights off and on repeatedly. and then the other half's there going, Matthew, what are you doing? Leave me alone.
You could have some fun, and you can drop in on the other Amazon devices, so you can actually do two-way audio if you wanted to.
Okay.
From the car.
Yeah, put the oven on. What's for dinner?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Or just yell random things out. Yeah. Just freak people out by just talking.
Excellent.
Or just go, ooh.
Right, shall we
move on?
We'll move on from there.
What's yours? You haven't answered yours yet.
No one's ever asked me. You're the first.
I'm asking you now.
You're the first to ask the question. So for me, my one piece of tech has to be Spotify, just because I love music. Whether I'm on a high, whether I'm on a low, wherever I am, whether it's on my phone, my iPad, in the car, whether I'm in the office, whatever, it's there, it's accessible, and I've got a playlist for it to suit every mood. So, thank you both for coming and doing episode 5 of Control Speak. You can now go away and get back to work.
I'm going to go have my lunch break, actually.
At 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yep. Right. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.